Figure TV. Revolutionary salute. Revolutionary salute. Like, share, subscribe. Welcome to the House of Revolution. You know I'm your humble host, the Yao Mina Revolution, and the fake community activist, Big U, finally charged with the murder of a young athlete that he bushwhacked. Let's get into the content.
A music executive and alleged LA gang leader Eugene Henley Jr. has just been named in a 43-count federal criminal indictment. Prosecutors accuse Henley of racketeering, fraud, extortion, and embezzlement. Henley surrendered to authorities last week in connection with a federal complaint linking him to the 2021 killing of an aspiring rapper. Prosecutors say that Henley, also known as Big U, has ties to the notorious Rollin' 60s street gang. His arraignment is scheduled for April 8th.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great...
Things are taking a turn for the worse for the fake community activists, Big U. Now that they finally charged him with murder, I think Big U gonna turn into Alpo. You know, this snake know a lot. Too old to do life in the feds.
The new and official Big U indictment just dropped, and it's worse than you could ever imagine. We already covered the federal complaint, so we're only going to cover the relatively newer stuff that's only in the indictment and not in the federal complaint. They've been investigating Big U since 2021, and the indictment kind of shows that because they cover literally every track and every angle. In this indictment,
Big U since 2020. I heard a video earlier. Wack 100 was very nervous when they kept saying 2020. Oh yeah. When you was still hanging with Big U. You see, this recent indictment starts at 2021. But I heard some information. I'm about to find information where they have been looking into Big U and the Rolling 60s, and that Big U is a part of Rolling 60s since 2020. Probably when Wack was giving them guns.
They're painting Big U as a murderous extortionist, and because they're trying to paint him as an extortionist, they took a great deal of interest in his podcast Checking In, and especially the theme song of his podcast Checking In. In the theme song, Snoop Dogg is rapping, "If you don't check in, things are going to be really ugly for you when you get to LA.
When you hop off the plane, check in."
Now, I can guarantee you that the feds didn't talk to Snoop because Snoop is one of the hip hop people who donated to his foundation. So Snoop's money is some of the money that's been laundered to this big crime boss that the feds is saying. And now Snoop made the song that the feds is using. This check-in song, they saying the feds are saying this is an extortion song. So I'm sure as shit they went to Snoop and asked him, have he been getting extorted, and what do he know about this? And why has he been funneling money to this guy and making music so this guy can build his profile? Snoop ass definitely talked to the feds.
Penthouse suite, check in. When your feet hit the street, check in. Cause if not, shit get hot, you better check it in.
Out of context, this song is a nothing burger, but when you put this song in context with everything that's going on, it's everything burger. The feds are saying that Big U is an extortionist, that Big U has built an empire off of extorting, intimidating, and squeezing celebrities and business owners who's operating in the city of Los Angeles. So when they see that his podcast name is Check In, and then they're using a theme song to say, this is just consistent with everything we're already telling you guys. Now, this is where the internet gets Big U in trouble, because the feds will also include a video that Big U posted to his Instagram.
Movie production in the hood. That's how we do it, man.
Top flight, baby. Security.
GB running this here movie set in the hood.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Coming out here and checking in with GB, getting these movies done. You better know it. Sure. Anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos. But if you don't check it in,
oh well. Check your ass out.
We're gonna check you in, all right. We're gonna check in all of your equipment.
This is the fake community activist. The Fed's not laughing at they're using this as part of his check-in plot, where he showed up to where a movie shoot was happening in the hood and bragged about him stationing his goons there, and they have to check in with him and give him money, which he's filming this. Nobody secretly recorded him. This fool went live and bragged about extorting these people shooting this movie, or he would have robbed all their camera equipment and laughed about it. Now the Fed's saying that's good. We didn't have to do too much work on this one.
We're gonna check it all of your equipment.
Hindsight is 2020. If you would have told Big U in 2021 that this was a crime and the feds would be investigating him and linking this to extortion, he would have told you you're out of your mind. Like, this is just like a silly IG video. But once you look at the behavior from today's lens, this looks crazy. Like, this looks insane. Why would you put a target on your back like this, bro? Why would you openly admit that you will extort somebody, especially a business owner who gets like a permit from the city to film? Because in order to film in, in like the street, like an actual movie, you have to get permit from the city. So on top of getting a permit from the city, the government is allowing me to do it. I have to check in and pay you guys for me to do. Horrible. The feds included an itemized list of Big U's extortion or attempted extortion attempt from just one victim. And there's multiple victims, okay? As you can see right here, there's literal dates and dollar amount, and whether or not it was a successful extortion or an attempted extortion. Now, all of this, like this entire itemized list, is only coming from one victim. And there's multiple itemized lists for other victims as well. So this is just so you guys can wrap your head around about the levels of extortion that was going on and how frequent they were. The video is still going, and this is still only one victim. So Big U was literally paying his bills according to the feds by squeezing business owners who wanted to operate in the community. So for example, if somebody wants to open up a corner store in South Central, you got to tap in with Big U. If you want to, let's say, open up an ice cream truck for the kids, you got to tap in with Big U. And the feds is like, it went on for far too long, and they were sick of it. That itemized list belongs to the owner of the dispensary that got robbed by Big U and others. He's listed in the report as victim one. So everything you just saw all came from victim one. So if you hit one person for that much, imagine how much you hit for everybody else. Now, the feds will also tackle Big U developing options and his LLC and nonprofits, claiming that he committed bank fraud, wire fraud, and just fraud in general because he utilized the nonprofit to enrich himself by transferring the nonprofit assets and donations made to the nonprofits, transferring it over to his personal account and using it for personal reasons that has nothing to do with the nonprofit. On November 3rd, 2021, feds will allege that Big U transferred $15,000 from Development Options bank account into his personal account. On March 28th, 2022, feds will claim that Big U transferred $10,000 from his nonprofit Development Options into his personal account. On between September 26, 2022 and October 7, 2022, feds claim Big U would transfer $13,000 from Development Options into his personal account. November 15, 2022, feds will claim that Big U transferred $10,000 from Development Options into his personal account. December 19th, 2022, feds will claim that Big U transferred $5,000 from Development Options into his personal bank account. It just keeps going. And according to the feds, they don't even think this is a tenth of the money that Big U embezzled, right? But you will see, if you just scroll down, and if this is not a tenth of it, you will count well over 200,000 of money they claim that Big U took for himself when it was supposed to go to the nonprofit. And they will also claim that Big U secured a lot of these donations from celebrities and athletes and other nonprofits through intimidation and extortion. From my perspective, the only slam dunk the feds believe they have is the wire fraud, the bank fraud, and the embezzlement. Because even this murder, I believe it's like a guarantee. Like the feds believe they have a very solid case and it's a guarantee as well. But the embezzlement is like clear cut, bro. Like it's black and white, homie. Like there's transfers from this to your personal account. Like it's in 4K. So I believe the feds know that this is like their slam dunk. So this is something that they believe that if all else fails, we can at least give Big U 10 years off of this alone. Now, the feds will
And
also give more detail regarding the murder of Big U's son's best friend, Rayshawn Williams, and the extent that they believe that Big U went to cover up his murder. So, Rayshawn Williams, we all know, I don't need to rehash it. Rayshawn Williams was in Las Vegas. Big U went to Las Vegas, and the feds are accusing Big U of killing Rayshawn Williams in Vegas. Now, Rayshawn Williams and Big U was in the studio together earlier in the night before, the feds claimed Big U allegedly murdered him. So the feds will list out ways that Big U went above and beyond to conceal, hide, and really throw the feds off in their investigation of Rayshawn Williams' murder. This is where Rayshawn Williams' body was found. Feds believe that Big U and Rayshawn Williams was in the car together. Big U's phone was on airplane mode or completely off because it wasn't transmitting data. Big U murdered Rayshawn Williams and dumped his body here, according to the feds. When Big U was notified from somebody that Nevada police was going to be interviewing the producer of the studio that him and Rayshawn Williams was at the night of the murder, Big U instructed the producer and all the employees to leave the studio and not come back that day. And Big U would allegedly send associates from the Big U enterprise listed as DS and others known and unknown to the grand jury. And these people from Big U Enterprise went to the studio and they removed portions of the security system from the studio. They removed security video and data from the times that victim Rayshawn Williams and Big U and Robinson, who was with Big U, were present at the studio prior to victim Rayshawn Williams' murder. This is one of those things where you don't want to believe that a man would murder his son's best friend. But when you have evidence, proof, text messages, correspondence that proves that Big U associates removed security systems and went out of their way to conceal evidence that they were with Rayshawn Williams that night, you kind of have to wonder and ponder, bro, like why? Like, why would an innocent person do that? January 27th, 2 days after the murder, approximately 10:03 p.m., KF, another associate from Big U Enterprises, called the Airbnb that Big U allegedly visited that Rayshawn Williams was staying. Because according to the police, Big U and Rayshawn Williams left the studio, drove to the Airbnb, and the footage from the Airbnb showcased that Big U and Rayshawn Williams returned back to the Airbnb. Rayshawn Williams grabbed all of his stuff and they left, and that was the last time Rayshawn Williams was seen. So an associate of Big U who booked the Airbnb for Rayshawn Williams contacted the owner of the account that he used to book the Airbnb. And they instructed the owner of the Airbnb not to speak with law enforcement about Rayshawn Williams' murder. These are still allegations at the end of the day, but this is really silly, bro. Can you imagine being an Airbnb owner, getting a message from some random person who stayed at your place that day or two, and they tell you, hey, bro, when the police come, bro, asking about this murder, don't cooperate, man. Yo, as an Airbnb owner, bro, you probably look at that message like, bro, I'm calling the police right now. And again, I don't know who KF is. KF could be completely innocent. But for KF, when you were contacting the Airbnb owner, like, do you feel like this is going to work? Do you feel like a random Airbnb owner will look at your message and say, yeah, I'm gonna do this guy who I don't know a favor by not cooperating with the police in a murder investigation and risk getting myself arrested? It don't make sense to me at all. February 3rd, 2021, the same associate falsely told law enforcement that he did not know the address of the studio and did not have a number for or any way to contact Big U, because KF was who booked the Airbnb for Rayshawn Williams when he went to Las Vegas. On December 31st of 2022, an interceptor call, which is a wiretap, got Big U explaining his motivation for committing murders on behalf of the Big U Enterprise. On the call, Big U will state, what you guys see on the internet, y'all keep hearing other people who don't have nothing to talk about sell. Let me explain to you. Now, this is where it gets really bad, like terribly bad. Let me explain something to you. If I would have had a problem with any man, color, creed, king, or kind, the issue would have been resolved and he wouldn't be here or I wouldn't be here. It ain't no kid nothing in reference to Rayshawn Williams. Man, bro, I ain't trying to head that he's a kid stuff. And it damn near nobody who been in this MF longer than me can stand against me and me be who I am. If I had a problem with any man and this wouldn't be so funny to me, I'm still who they say I am. This goes against the persona the feds will say that Big U used to start the nonprofit to get millions of dollars from the city of Los Angeles for his GRID program. They will say that Big U put on a persona of a changed man, but in fact, that was furthest from the truth. And that Big U was still actively engaging in gang activities and violent activities and murdering people. And the nonprofit and the Big U enterprise and the legal game was nothing but a con to enrich himself, according to the feds. Now, there's a video that Big U dropped before he turned himself in, when he's in the vehicle talking about how he's being framed. Now, in that vehicle, he mentioned Wack 100, he mentioned Loose Cannon, he mentioned Brick Baby, he mentioned how people are going to try to tell on him. And the feds will say that, that's witness intimidation, right? That Big U put that video out there to try to hinder the process, to try to deter people who could potentially cooperate against them. And they will say that this is proof that even in his darkest times, even when he surrendered himself in, he's still trying to intimidate people. And the feds believe that that was Big U's attempt to intimidate people who could potentially help the investigation against them. Now, if you know, or if you are new to this channel, you will know that I actually dropped a video claiming that I believe the video that Big U dropped before he surrendered himself in, I felt like that video right there was a big mistake. The feds will even claim that Big U dropping the video on his youth football team Instagram page is Big U attempting to smear the jury pool, to contaminate the jury pool. Now, I think they're reaching in that regard, claiming that this man professing his innocence, claiming that, he's being railroaded, claiming that this is racism. I don't feel like that's him contaminating the jury pool, right? That's just him, professing his innocence, which he has every right to do. But once you start naming co-defendants and once you start, pointing out people who could potentially cooperate, that's where the feds have an issue with it. Now, the lawyer Mo Gannon, he would actually drop a brief reaction to Big U's indictment becoming unsealed, and here's what he had to say.
After perceived disrespect, the feds say they have surveillance, cell phone data, and family interviews that all point to Henley as being the last person seen with RW, the murdered rapper. And they say that there was an alleged cover-up where Henley and his associates went into the studio and got the surveillance tapes right before the murder happened. There's armed robbery of a marijuana dispensary. Henley allegedly ordered the robbery of a dispensary where an extortion victim worked. After the robbery, the victim was invited to Henley's home and told, "That's how you rob yourself." There's allegations of ongoing robberies and threats by Loose Cannon. They say they allege that Williams continued violent behavior, including a recent pistol whipping that was caught on video. Then there's extortion of business owners. Victims were extorted for thousands per month with threats of violence or robbery if they did not comply. There's a human trafficking and a sex trafficking allegation where Henley paid people to transport women across state lines for prostitution. The feds say they've intercepted communications showing explicit instructions and references to sex work. There's fraud and embezzlement. They're saying that Henley used his nonprofit called Developing Options to fraudulently obtain grants.
The feds will even take it further to claim that Big U lied about one of his employees' salary, increasing by almost $6,000 more than he was actually making per month. And he did that so the employee, which is also somebody who was in the indictment, who was with Big U when the murder happened, who helped cover up the murder, who helped Big U extort people. Again, according to the feds, they lied about the employee's salary at Developing Options so the employee could qualify for a $800,000 mortgage, right? And they'll also point to like an SBA loan for like $200,000, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it looks like, man, they got pretty much everything they need. At this point, I'm wondering how soon, if you're Big U's lawyer, man, do you start begging the feds for a plea deal, man? If I'm Big U, give me 10 years, man. All right, I'm late 50s. I come home late 60s, early 70s, man. Hey, bro, I'll take it. Okay. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? All right. Do you
Politics, the best hood channel on YouTube, and we back with them bad people in this Big U federal indictment. Now, you know, it's a lot of information that's coming out, a lot of individuals speculating as to who's telling, who's snitching, who the witnesses are, and that's where we step in. Now, right now, we got one main individual who's playing some dirty games in this paperwork. Now, as we broke down when we covered this Big U indictment, there's confidential informants, multiple witnesses in multiple areas. And we also have some snitches on the forecast as well. But we're not talking about probabilities in this video. We only gonna talk about facts. So we know there's an individual that they referred to as CW1. They broke down his profile, his case history, and what information he provided. Now, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm onto that dude, but I'm not 100% for sure that is who I think it is. So we're not gonna put that out there because, you know, we're not here to make allegations in terms of who's snitching. We're gonna tell you exactly who it is. And you know, a lot of people, of course, they wanted to be Wack 100. They wanted to be 600, Brick Baby. We know Loose Cannon's already telling. He's self-snitching. He's implicated himself. But this individual right here is also snitching on Loose Cannon. But as of right now, we got to say factually, it's none of them other dudes. But you know the saying, when life gives you lemons, you end up with Dale Morrison. Now, Dale Morrison is going to be victim number one. This is actually going to be the biggest rat in this case. So again, this is not CW1 who was pardoned by Joe Biden. And this is not witness one that was around the alleged murder situation in Nevada. The witness that was working as a security guard in the studio. This is the man that was getting extorted, so to speak. The one that was robbed by Loose Cannon. And the club promoter who set up the whole situation with Big U and Deja Vu, where it was said that Big U has shook down 30 rats out that situation. But the key thing, man, is who is Dale Morrison? Now, he's not only a rat. He's actually a club promoter, and I would say somewhat of an entrepreneur throughout the city. And the next question one may ask is, why Dale Morrison? Why was he being shook down? It seems like this dude is one of them guys playing all sides. Now, the key thing is Dale Morrison has been in the mix around all these dudes for a long time. Like I said, he's a club promoter. And anybody know these club promoters? They're the ultimate people person. But especially when you promoting black businesses, black clubs, black parties, you're gonna end up intertwining with the hood at some point, especially in LA. So we've seen Dale Morrison, not only with Big U, we've seen him with Nipsey, we've seen him with Gilly the Kid, Joe Moses. Like I said, this dude has been around everybody in the city, and we gotta put this out so nobody else falls into the games that this dude is playing. Now, the paperwork has painted him out to be a victim, and on the contrary, painted Big U to just be somebody that got him in a headlock. But Dale Morrison is actually playing his own games in these streets, man. So the key thing right now is Morrison is under his own federal indictment, which has nothing to do with any of these dudes in this indictment, with this Big U Rolling 60 situation. This dude had his feet in the streets, a full participant in the life of criminality. He's not just some weed shop owner that's trying to make a living and ends meet by playing it fair. This is the misconception of this whole situation. Now, the indictment that he's allegedly the main defendant on is a conspiracy with the intent to possess narcotics, also possession with the intent to distribute narcotics. And the main key thing is the feds are alleging that Dale Morrison is using businesses in LA as fronts, including the same business that Big U was allegedly shaking down. So we've seen Morrison with multiple different businesses: MLB Investments and Holdings, M4 Morrison Media Marketing and Management, DMO 20 Consultants LLC, Everybody Eats, which is also synonymous with the Everybody Eats Genetics cannabis business, which he's affiliated with. Now, at the time when he was allegedly participating in the conspiracy, some of these businesses were operating off some high rises off Fig. Now, as of today, he's changed the addresses to these businesses. But in 2020, It's alleged that he was working with 4 other co-conspirators by the names of Jordan Jackson, Keyshawn Brandon, Brittany Duff, and Deja Purifoy. Now, everybody except for Keyshawn Brandon was operating in Ohio. Keyshawn Brandon, aka Keys, is said to be Morrison's bodyguard, or security, so to speak, that protects his criminal endeavors. And it's said that on July 25th, 2020, Keys was chaperoning around 7,000 grams of meth, approximately 2,000 grams of powder, and around 5,300 grams of weed from LA to Ohio, which is when they got pulled over. And somehow, some way, it comes out that this shipment came from Dale Morrison. Now, mind you, this is July 2020. In the Big U indictment, the feds said they didn't start watching Big U until February 2021, after the alleged murder committed by Big U in Nevada. But again, they was already watching the 6-0s in 2020, and they were able to track 8 USPS packages sent from Ohio to different addresses in LA, some in the 40s, a business in the Mansfields, and of course, an Addy in the 6-0s, where it said that around 150 racks had came from Ohio and touched down to LA, which the feds are alleging is proceeds that Morrison was receiving in this drug conspiracy. Now, 6 days after they got caught in that car, Morrison's house was hit July 31st, 2020, where it said this dude also had a bunch of weapons. But he wasn't fully taken in on this indictment until a year later, April 28th, 2021. But the Big U document alleges that he was a known extortion target since the beginning of their investigation on Big U. So as we see here in this Big U paperwork, it states victim 1 has a criminal history that includes arrest for narcotics conspiracy and distribution in violation of Title 21, Section 846, respectively, for which he is pending sentencing. It's still an open Fed case. He hasn't been sentenced. Why? Because he's using his telling on Big U in this indictment, in which it says that victim 1 will likely receive cooperation credit based on this case in his unrelated pending drug case from the United States Attorney's Office in the Southern District of Ohio. So this information right here is why there's no need for guessing. There's no need for allegations. There's a lot of bunk that's coming out. Is this dude snitching? Is he snitching? You know, people grasping at straws just for the content. The paperwork is telling us who these people are. Now, like I said, in the forecast, there are some snitches that's coming out, but you know, that's neither here nor there, because we have to move factually when we're talking about people as rats. And this is what I mean by this is a dirty character right here. He caught an unrelated Fed case before any of this situation and immediately started pointing fingers at the big fish, because he's a little fish in the streets, but nonetheless, he's still in the streets. He's not some innocent victim just floating around getting a noogie on his head. You know what I'm saying? And then with that situation that they had at Deja Vu on Big U Party in 2021, he complained and snitched about Big U pressing him and the other promoter for 30 racks. But then he turns around the next year and still promotes his next party in 2022 at Cheetahs. This dude playing street games, but when the big fish come and collect, he want to point the finger now. But he got some even nastier work on his name. He's also been convicted of a robbery, and guess what? Human trafficking of a minor under the age of 18. Shit, I see why he's getting pressed. This is a weird dude in the streets. And it's also said that he has ties to Wack 100. We're going to get to that, though. Now, one can make the argument that Big U wouldn't even be under an investigation by the feds if it wasn't for this dude. Reason being is because the homicide that took place in Nevada was under investigation by the police in Nevada, not the feds. This dude comes along, and now you have the full RICO, where we're talking about money, extortion, and robbery being involved into a full enterprise with Big U. Now, along with CW1, Morrison also told the feds about the Adrian Broner situation. He had a recording on Big U when he sat down with him April 14th and April 15th of 2022. He was mic'd up when Big U was talking about the Adrian Broner situation. Now, like I said, this is the same person
Police
that Loose Cannon admitted to robbing. This is one of the main reasons why Loose Cannon is sitting down. Not only did Loose Cannon talk on the podcast, but what sealed his fate was the dude he robbed was working as an informant. So like I said, all he had to do was corroborate the story that Loose Cannon told as being factual. And of course, with him being the victim, it was extremely easy for Loose Cannon to get snatched up. Now, like I said, he was around all these dudes before this investigation popped off, and he was around all the way up to when they got hit. But in the Big U video, we also spoke about a time when the Nevada police had went to Big U's house to pay him a visit in regards to the murder that took place out there. We see Dale Morrison on the wiretap with them later on that night, giving extortion payments to Vay. And he also dug into multiple details to the feds about how Big U tried to get him to line up other weed dealers and other businesses in the city. But the key thing, this dude was making 25% off of the tape. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like this dude was just living the worst life possible. He got tired of being punked, and his run-in with the feds in the situation in Ohio has led to him becoming spooked. And he's using that to get from up under Big U's thumb. Like I said, we seen this dude with all the rappers, promoting all the parties. We seen him promoting Filthy Rich, everybody. This is not somebody you want to be around. I'm gonna keep it real. You never know who else he gonna throw up under the bus to lighten up that federal indictment that he got looming over his head. And it's one thing called a sentence memorandum. That memorandum right there breaks down everything in regards to your sentencing. You meet with the judge and they go over everything. All the people that's there for you in the courtroom, all the letters from your employers, your family, all the mitigating factors that you're using to try to get the judge not to send your ass all the way up the river. And like I said, at that point, that's when these cooperation credits are going to take effect, and it's going to drop his points down and lessen the blow of that offense. That document is still sealed, and he's not sentenced yet. Mind you, this offense happened in 2020, and he went down in 2021. Here we are 4 years later. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get sentenced until after everybody in this Big U indictment is taken care of, because we may see this dude on the stand if anybody takes it to trial, which I'm highly doubting right now. But like I said before, this dude participated in countless wiretaps. It seemed like Vay and Big U stayed on this dude on the phone, and all he was doing was leading these guys over to Title III. But like I said, he went down in April 2021. 8 months after this, this is the man that was making those controlled extortion payments. The FBI gave him thousands of dollars, split up over multiple occasions, slid it right to him so he can go meet with Big U or Vay and document those extortion payments. Like I said, this dude wasted no time to get out in the field and work as a confidential informant, but they call him a victim. And one key thing you got to realize about these dudes that work for the feds, you know, of course, everything's incentivized. There's a reason. They got something hanging over your head, but you also have to enter some sort of a contractual agreement with these people. And of course, nobody wants their information out there. Nobody wants the feds to say that they working for them. But the key thing is, in that contract that you sign with these folks, they let you know that they can't promise and ensure you that your information will be kept solid. Because at some point, if somebody goes to trial, you may be called as a witness. But like we see here, they basically told us who he was. Again, this is why there should be no speculation in putting out false content until the information drops. But what we meant by this dude playing all sides, you know, as a club promoter, he's mixed in with everybody. Wack is in the entertainment business. He got to get his artists in these clubs and make this chilly. But on June 5th, 2022, on the wiretap, Big U was telling this dude, stop doing business with Wack 100 because he's a rat. And a month after that, Big U broke down the situation to Dale Morrison that he had with Wack 100. Now, I believe Wack was talking about this, you know, he's kind of hard to listen to. I'm going to keep it real, man. But the account of the incident that was on wiretap, the account that the feds have, and the account that Dale Morrison has, is that Big U and some 6-0s chased down Wack. And Wack took off screaming, saying, my wife, Drawls, I see you, Eugene. I see you, Eugene. I see you. He said he was screaming. and he said he had a blower. But he said Wack pleaded and said, don't do this. My wife, my kids in the car. He said, Drawls, don't do this. This is the account told by Big U to Dale Morrison. So we see why Wack is on this campaign, man. These two is for show beefing. Now, the comment where he said Wack 100 is a snitch, like I said, of course, we all would like him to be, especially at this juncture, but I have no paperwork on it, so I can't say. But nonetheless, Mr. Dale Morrison is for show them bad peoples, man. And CW1, he's going to be coming soon too, man. We got to call a spade a spade. It just is what it is, especially when these dudes is hanging around other artists, mingling with the streets, 1 foot in, 1 foot out type shit, doing shit for their advantage. It's all fair game at this point. Rap News Street Politics, the best hood channel on YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. We out.
Okay, so for this video, I want to talk about Three Fingers Wack 100 and how he lined up Loose Cannon to get arrested by the federales. So I want to explain. So one of the things that Loose Cannon is locked up for right now is for the Great No Jumper Brawl of 2024. This is when Loose Cannon was seen on video buffaloing some guy in the head with slam, and he forced him to take an unexpected nap, and then he ran his pockets and disrobed him and left him naked for dead. What? This is the Great No Jumper beatdown, but this is in the indictment. This is what Loose Cannon is in trouble for right now. And what they're saying is on the internet, people are saying that Wack Three Fingers lined this whole thing up and used Loose Cannon to beat up someone he didn't like. And now Loose Cannon is in jail for it. And Wack Three Fingers is parading around dry snitching on him, saying that it was all Loose Cannon. And this is basically telling. This is telling, guys.
Wack didn't run out on no bullshit.
Right, but the people that you invited are the ones who got involved in this bullshit. And from my perspective, this was all like a big PR thing. Because why was somebody filming before it even started?
Yeah, so someone was filming before it started, indicating that it was planned. Okay, so I want to explain this entire beating. So I guess Three Fingers Wack had a business deal for a low-budget TV show with these two guys, Travis Ford and Mozzie. And apparently Wack wanted to bring the 16 in on the deal because I think he wanted the 16 to help promote the show with his No Jumper platform. So he needed the 16. So they were going to have this meeting at the No Jumper building, just the four of them, Three Fingers Wack, Mozzie, Travis Ford, and the 16 of Nashua. It was supposed to be those four, but the meeting was canceled.
I mean, Mozzie canceled with Wack. Wack called me and told me not to show up.
And so what happened was this Jay Reed guy, the guy that got beat up at the No Jumper facility, he showed up to the meeting anyway. He says, I'm going anyways because he's got some business. He wants to do some business.
He tells him I'm going up there anyway, right?
And so what happened was Jay Reed annoyed some people by overstepping and trying to like slither into a business dealing that he wasn't invited to. And so he was annoying Three Fingers Wack and Travis Ford and everyone. He's being a pest. And this is why people are saying that this was a setup. That Wack Three Fingers knew that Jay Reed was coming. Travis Ford probably told Three Fingers Wack, like, hey, this guy's going anyways. This guy's out of control. And Wack was probably like, we gonna see about that. I got Loose Cannon. We gonna do the whole thing. And Wack Three Fingers wanted to do some gangsta shit. What? But he's not a gangster, so he needed Loose Cannon. Does this make sense? I hope this is making sense. I want to actually go to a clip here before I get too carried away.
When I call him and say, yo, bro, what's up with this dude? Know what he tells me? He said, Wack, dude called me at 5:56 and said he on his way to No Jumper. And I said, why? Mozzie canceled with Wack. Wack called me and told me not to show up, right? I don't know this dude. All I know is Travis Ford and my owner, number 2. That's it. I don't know this dude, right?
So Wack Three Fingers says that he doesn't know Jay Reed. He's never heard of Jay Reed. He wasn't expecting Jay Reed to show up ever. But this is actually problematic because Wack Three Fingers actually did know Jay Reed. He knew exactly who he was. He's been in pictures with him. He's gone to dinner with him. He's been on the phone with him.
You in pictures with him, at dinner with him, and you on the phone call with him prior to No Jumper.
Man, I was just in Vegas with these dudes about 2 weeks ago. And, you can see the picture up on about that. So
20, you see the date? There we go. See, that's everybody, right? Travis, Luz, Mozzie, Jay Reed in the back. I don't know this dude.
So Three Fingers Wack actually did know who Jay Reed was and likely knew he was coming to No Jumper that night because Travis Ford was notified by Jay Reed that he was going to No Jumper.
He said, Wack, dude called me at 5:56 and said he on his way to No Jumper.
And so it just doesn't make any sense to me that Travis Ford wouldn't then relay that message to Wack and say, hey, Jay Reed's on his way up there anyways. It doesn't make any sense. I believe that Travis Ford did in fact do that and that Wack knew that Jay Reed was coming. And it also kind of sounds like they were waiting around for him to show up.
He does what he always does. I got to get home before the baby goes to sleep. He come out here, laugh, joke, bullshit, shoot a game of pool, then we get on.
But either way, this is where the story stops making sense. Listen to this.
As soon as I saw them heads, I say, bro, whoever that is, get them out of here. When you leave, bro, I don't let nobody in this building. If you're here and it's cool, then it's cool. Donnie will tell you, as soon as they walked in, I didn't even get a chance to see. I said, yo, whoever that is, tell them wait outside, bro. I don't know if it's some loose people or what.
So when Three Fingers Wack is just systematically snitching on Loose Cannon, just blaming the whole thing on him. And he's like telling these lies like he didn't know who Jay Reed was, like he didn't have dinner with him the other day.
Just tell them wait outside, bro. I don't know if it's some loose people or what. So when you call and said it's two people in the back,
in the front, really,
or whatever they was at, you know my people. My people, when I get here, they're here. If you ain't here when I get here, I ain't fucking with you. So I don't send my people out. I say, Luce, whoever out there, maybe they're your people, go check. So he goes out. They motion for me to come over there. Dude is saying some shit like, motherfuckers think they all that, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, but when it come to this white boy, Coach Burcher, he get to this, all this crazy shit, right? I make the decision not to respond. You know why? I respond, Adam, who respond? You been around my team long enough to know they disciplined. They ain't finna do shit unless I do some shit. I'm not saying I ain't tell myself I'm gonna fuck your ass up, just not right here. I ain't trying to hear what you saying. Luce says, so you came up here for content. He says back to Luce, whatever, cuz how you want to put it, on gangster. Luce says, nigga, this on neighborhood, okay? In this jungle, Adam, anything gangster crip, anything neighborhood crip.
Wow. Okay, so this Pyru is on this podcast narrating gang-related crime. I mean, this is insane. Why is he doing this? It's almost like he wants Loose Cannon to get investigated. Seriously, what is the point of discussing this on this show? If Wack Three Fingers is so hot under the collar from all the pressure from the interrogation of the 16, imagine what he would give to the cops. I think Wack Three Fingers is an informant at this point. And a point I wanted to make is that Loose Cannon already made a video snitching on himself for this exact thing, this exact beating, but he gave a different story that didn't involve any type of gangbanging. And so I'm thinking, like, is Wack just trying to add gangbang to the story because he knows the feds are watching? Could it be that Wack Three Fingers is trying to make this appear gang related so that the feds investigate this as part of the RICO?
What?
I don't know. It just, I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. And so I'd like to play you guys a clip of Loose Cannon's version of the event.
Wack was like, no, I don't know who they are. So I'm like, oh, I don't know, but let me go out and holler at him. So I walk out and he was like, man, I got a problem with Wack. I'm like, you got a problem with Wack about what? Yeah, I just got a problem with him. I'm like, you do? So I called Wack over there. Wack, come over here. Dude was like, man, you running this type of content and stuff like that. And Wack was like, what content? Wack pulled out his phone. Once Wack pulled out the phone, he was like, oh, this content? And then the dude was like, everything is not content. I say, you right. So, y'all see the results. Smack. Let's get to it. How far do y'all expect me to go?
So Loose Cannon's version is that he knocked the guy out because he said he had a problem with Three Fingers Wack. That's very interesting. So Three Fingers Wack left that part out of his version. He didn't want the narrative to be that Loose Cannon was knocking people out on his behalf. So he changed the story and said that there was gangbanging involved, and that's what motivated Loose Cannon to knock the guy out. And so this had nothing to do with any gangbanging. This was just Three Fingers Wack trying to remove himself from any responsibility.
And firing on Jay Reed has absolutely nothing to do with on gangsters, on neighborhood.
That's what I think.
It has nothing to do with
so
that.
It sounds like Three Fingers Wack pretty much made this up, this gang enhancement situation, and just made it up. And so he's not only snitching, but he's lie snitching. That's one of the more pathetic forms of snitching. And it gets kind of crazier when Three Fingers Wack says that he basically stopped the situation from getting worse. Listen to this.
Y'all witnessed outside of no jumper. Did I do what I was supposed to do?
You didn't do anything.
No bullshit. Oh, y'all got amnesia? Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Wow. So Wack Three Fingers wants credit for stopping the beating, for saying, no, don't do that. Don't do that. He only, so here's the deal. He only started saying, no, don't do that after the gun came out.
What?
You can clearly see in the video, Wack Three Fingers just standing there with his hands in his pockets watching the beating take place and didn't say anything until Slam got pulled out. And you're going to be able to tell when the tussle starts and when Three Fingers Wack says, no, don't do that. Listen to this. So that was about 11 seconds of violence, and Wack just stood around with his hands in his pockets watching it happen. So I really have a huge problem with Wack Three Fingers telling on loose cannon on podcasts and, like, you know, explaining all this gangster activity on, you know, it's really unacceptable. He should sit there and shut the fuck up, especially because he was involved. Probably he should shut the fuck up. But because of, and you know, this isn't the only thing that loose cannon is in jail for that Wack Three Fingers sort of lined up. The federales are actually using transcripts from a podcast that Wack Three Fingers brought loose cannon onto in order to get loose cannon to start like saying way too much about crimes. And this was how loose cannon got his start with his internet antics. This was his first, we hadn't seen, so this is the first time we have ever seen loose cannon was on this podcast.
I took loose and set him on the side of me. When the light hit me, I made sure it hit him.
Yeah, I don't think I was that familiar with him before.
Yeah, right.
You brought him on the pod.
So Wack Three Fingers just brings on this nobody named Loose Cannon and starts getting him to tell on himself and others for the sake of getting Big U in trouble, because Loose Cannon ends up implicating Big U in Nipsey Hussle's murder. Okay, so this is really insane. Look at this.
Yeah. But this crazy motherfucker calls me the other day. If I get some information or some content, I'm going to fry your ass up.
Yeah.
I said, nephew, this content I can't present. You got to present it because you ain't lied to me yet. He's behind a lot of shit that you've seen. You just should know it was him. Okay. We're going to tell you off camera.
What kind of stuff?
Just some shit. He's behind a lot of shit that you see on YouTube. You just say no, it was him. So I know he ain't no bullshitter. Man, listen.
No, so
yeah, you gotta elaborate on this shit.
I got to, because at the end of the day, it's like dealing with, like, we about to go do something, hop out on something, and give you a gun that's empty.
Oh, he did that to you?
No, he did. Yeah,
oh, he did it to somebody else? Oh,
this nigga crazy. He really going.
Honey, okay.
So did you let him just take the 50 from you? You really didn't get a cut, or you waited to the next thing and just took more?
Yeah. No, he avoided me. Yeah. And then, like, one day,
you know why he wanted to get a dude back to 40, right? Because he was gonna make dude give him 20 for getting it back.
Of course.
And kept you out of it.
Of course. He did that to when I did that to Meek Mills and Rick Ross.
What'd you do to them?
So
the club, when you sweated them in the club?
Yeah.
Dude, and Meek and Rick have no idea that Drawls sent you at him.
Yeah. No, yeah, they sent that because I called.
This really just sends a shiver down my spine watching Three Fingers Wack coaching Loose Cannon along, getting him to tell on him. I mean, this is great. So this is, how is this not third party snitching?
The homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey, and so I'm like,
wait. You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answer the phone.
Yeah, and
you
like just talking on regular. So it's like at the end of the day, I didn't even think about it because
you don't even warn him that you got that call from dude.
No, because their relationship was so fucked up. They be hot one minute, then they be cold the next minute, and then they be lukewarm. Like you
and
just
30 minutes after you get out the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So you think he hit you a little too early?
Yep, he hit me a little bit too early because the homie Shitty double back 3 times. You hear what I'm saying?
So that was nuts. Wack Three Fingers sounds exactly like a police officer. Same speech patterns and everything. That's very, very interesting. So Wack Three Fingers brings Loose Cannon on, gets him to make all these wild and crazy claims in a display of self-snitchery. Then Loose Cannon starts getting attention from other people like DJ Snackademiks.
interview talking about what I did to Meek Mills.
Wait, you did something to Meek Mill?
Oh Lord.
And you know, I do find it interesting that TJ Akademiks is interested in interviewing Loose Cannon when he had this to say about LA gang members.
All the LA gangsters. I don't know what's going on in LA. Maybe they don't sell enough drugs being in these gangs. They don't get money. They're broke. Okay. I'm sorry to say, LA gang members are fucking broke. The only way they know how to get money is podcasting. Most of them are unintelligible, illiterate, don't know how to have coherence, ideas, points, or even make sentences. And what they oftentimes realize the intrigue about them are, what usually is that? Is talk about crimes they've committed. So the whole LA podcast scene, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I think LA is a weird scene in general. Let me just be very clear.
No,
I really don't. I promise I don't know. It said y'all was trying to kidnap him. So explain that story. Wait, so how did you even come in contact with it? And I think supposedly there was a big you portion of it.
Yeah. So basically, so we caught him at the club where he was performing at.
So DJ Akademiks falls directly under the definition of culture vulture. He's capitalizing off of gang culture in LA, something that he despises, but he's just using it to get money. Okay. And I always find it funny when DJ Akademiks talks about himself like he's this brilliant guy, like he's insanely smart.
You're the only street nigga that could keep up with me on the mic. That's a fact. I would talk circles around anyone if we had to get to an intellectual conversation.
He ain't that smart. I listened to him talk. He sounds like a fucking idiot. Seriously, what's up with again? Why does he say again like 5,000 fucking times? Listen to this.
And we're pulling you to the side, like, I'm on YouTube, but again, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, like, I'm not, listen, again, if I'm exploiting,
well, here goes
and again, I know, like, Kanye is really interested. Again, it's so passionate for him. And again, you know, the optics on it. So I'm watching again. So you're trying to do a song with my daughter, but you wouldn't do one with me. Again, because in the past, and again, after seeing this indictment, don't you believe that again, not that the podcast was police, but even again. So
Okay, so that was not very intellectual sounding at all. And I'm sorry if I can't respect anyone that says again this many fucking times.
What? Again, right? Because again, yo, like no.
I really get niggas locked up, right? I'm really a rat.
So Wack 3 Fingers gets Loose Cannon to say all this stuff on No Jumper, and all of a sudden he's getting booked on Akademiks' little podcast. He's going on he's got a whole media tour to talk about all this stuff, and it's all because of Wack 3 Fingers, right? Wack 3 Fingers himself takes credit for this. And so knowing what Wack 3 Fingers likely knows about the feds and the police, why would he encourage Loose Cannon to do this? If Loose Cannon was really his partner, why wouldn't he say, don't do that, Why is he saying go on DJ Akademiks and tell him the story? Why are you doing that? Is it because it furthers your agenda and you don't give a fuck if Loose Cannon gets locked up?
What?
That's what it sounds like. I mean, the guy just sounds like a cop. Like I said, his speech patterns, the things that he says, it just sounds very police-like.
I don't let people in my car. I don't know if you paid attention. I don't let dudes in my vehicle. People get in, they smell like marijuana. They may have warrants and shit. I know with me in there, I know what my situation is. So they gonna escort me back. I know they there with me. I can talk bullshit. We can pull over. I get woozy.
Wack 3 Fingers doesn't let people in his car because they may smell like marijuana and they may have warrants. That doesn't. So I won't let anyone in my car that doesn't smell like marijuana and doesn't have fucking warrants, because at least that way I can trust them. And I know that they're not the fucking feds. So 3 Fingers, and I want to point out 3 Fingers Wack's been saying police stuff on podcasts for a long time. This isn't new.
He got some responsibility in getting, old boy killed that they love up there in the Bay. We ain't touched content on that.
So at the end of the day, Wack 3 Fingers likely did play a role in helping Loose Cannon provide evidence via podcast to self-snitch on himself. Wack 3 Fingers facilitated this and catalyzed the entire situation. So a lot of people are saying that Wack 3 Fingers sort of may have intentionally done this to get another rolling 60 in the grinder. So that's the video, guys. Check out the Patreon. I'm getting ready to drop.
they told me between me and you, please, like one between me and you, don't tell nobody because they don't want nobody to know.
Now look at the latest play Wack 100 is running. Now remember I told y'all, this lady, y'all just heard the lady on a private phone call. She thought it was private. Tell Wack 100 between me and you, Wack. Don't tell nobody they finna pick Big U up. Check. And Wack, what did he do? Him and 600 bring it to the internet. Now after they brought it to the internet, after Big U was and his crew was busted, what did Wack and 600 say? They done it to help him. They said that. We tried to help him. Tried to give him a head start. You know what I'm saying? He can get the, all kind of foolishness Wack was saying. I told y'all Wack interfered with a federal investigation, steady doing that. So now he running a new play saying that he didn't believe the lady was telling him the truth. He thought she was trolling. His lawyer probably told him to come say this type of shit, but it's too late.
They're going to be making an arrest the end of March, the beginning of April.
Now, right there, right, I'm telling myself, if they don't want nobody to know, why they tell you?
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, the Answer Man. We about to hear why Wack thought the family of Big U's alleged victim was trolling. Let's get to it.
No, he didn't. That's what his lawyer told him to say. He lied. Wack knew goddamn well he was hooking Big U up to a fucking murder case, and he couldn't wait to do it. But his lawyer told him, no, you need to go out there and say you thought they was trolling. You had no idea you was interfering in a federal investigation. Y'all understand that? Now understand, Wack is coming out and saying he definitely didn't try to interfere in a federal investigation on purpose after he bragged about that's what he was doing.
Sitting back and like hearing that last night, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. When the family first called, I ain't gonna lie, I thought a lot of they would say it was bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all can recall in the recording. I'm like, man, they don't need that nigga DNA because they got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they don't need. I'm telling myself, what you mean they need his DNA? They got this nigga DNA. So, and within reading this, some of the shit they said was bullshit. You know, but when you add it with them, y'all know what it is with this content, because that didn't did content on me. You know what I'm saying? That didn't stood over there with, you know, because people saying stuff. I'm going to be real. I didn't know all this was going on. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. If a nigga would have told me, hey, boom, 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 I'd have been like, hell no, that nigga ain't doing all that. I'd have been like, Big U's not doing all that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of shit I was hearing from the family, I'm not going to lie, man. I just thought that's what they thought, because a lot of they were saying it really wasn't adding up to me. Them needing his blood. I talked to Eddie Boy, his crime. You know what Eddie Boy told me? He said, Wack, they swabbed me when I got out. So if they swab Eddie Boy, they for sure swab him. I know they swabbed me when I got out. You know what I'm saying? So hearing a lot of this and listening to them, you know, this ain't no different than him being over there with Deuce Sims and he agreeing, yeah, that's him. Yeah. I could bring a channel and told them what to say to make it sound realistic. So, you know, when it comes to, and this is a real valuable lesson, right? This probably never happen again, because the level of seriousness to this is crazy. Like, it could come a time, homie, to where you trolling or you running content because you don't like them. But here goes the gray area. You never know if what you running is real. You get what I'm saying? Because that's how the family found me. Let's keep it real. I don't know that family. I still don't know them today. But they like, we don't like this, but Wack don't like this. So, you know, a lot of times, and I know people do it, they'll use me to say the shit they want to say about a but they don't like because my voice is bigger. And guess what? If it's some I don't like, I don't give a. You get what I'm saying? I can care less. Wait, what you say? So I'm saying that to say this. Really reading that indictment, like I would have never thought that, because I'm hearing a bunch of crazy, and I'm hearing niggas that went back and ripped the security system out, but I'm telling myself, for them to get that
Somebody had to tell him he was coming to do that. So if a would have came and just like was like, hey nigga, let me tell you something about Big U, and told me all this, right? And said, Wack, I want to come on your platform, nigga, and nigga, let the people know. I would have let the nigga come up here and run it. Not because I thought it was real, just because I know it's going to antagonize him with the nigga. You get what I'm saying? That's why when I was talking to the lady, I didn't want to, seem like an asshole. When she running the narrative, I'm going to keep her talking. So that nigga, when she got to the point, I don't know if y'all caught it. Now I'm going to tell you what triggered me that the people on my phone was trolls. I'm going to keep it real with you. When I said, how long your brother been gone? When this happened, y'all remember what she told me? 2022. Now in my head, if you real, you know what year your brother got. Am I right or wrong? In my head, I'm like,
it's a fact, Wack.
But that's what I'm saying, right? So when she on my line, y'all gotta remember, man, he be calling me all day. I don't be knowing who these is, bro, and I'm just gonna keep it real. I don't know who these but I'll ask certain questions to try to gauge, so, and I was like, now listen, I know what year the newspaper thing said, right? So when I asked, this supposed to be the family that's calling me. Yo, what year? 2022. At that point in time, what you think I told myself?
Cap.
This on my phone capping. So you trolling, I'm a troll with your weird ass. You get what I'm saying? So
lies.
We start with that. That's when I was like,
stop lying.
What you mean is DNA? They already got his DNA. I'm like, oh, you got a dot. I know what that nigga Big U case was. We ran it over there with Eddie Boy. You know what I'm saying? We know it was robbery and robbing the police. You didn't know it was the police. We know exactly what the case was. We know what it involves, but I'm gonna keep talking. So when she all of a sudden
interfered in a federal investigation, bragged about it on the internet, and his lawyer contacted him, and they trying to clean up. All of this is the cleanup job. That's why he doing this and using these clouds. Y'all know what? But y'all remember, I didn't really believe it, did I? No, you didn't believe it. What? This is crazy. Y'all knew I didn't believe it, huh? No, we knew the whole time you was trolling. Wack. Get the fuck out of here.
Is what her mama,
what
right? And I'm gonna be real. Since then, right after that, the mama hits me. Guess for what? What y'all think? Who at this point in time I'm thinking is the fake mama? Because listen, bro, this is real. This is how my mind works.
This is about you.
If the police then told you, don't tell nobody, and I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real.
You lying.
I don't know the police to tell nobody when they coming.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Man,
so
right.
From top to bottom, in my head, I don't know who the is on my phone. I ain't ran a check. I ain't seen them. I don't know if this the kid's sister and mom. I don't know who these. They just called me in the blind, right? It's like they second or third time calling me. They been calling me, and I just listen to them and listen to them. But it's like, all right, well, dude been running his mouth a little bit over there. We're gonna run it up, right? So I got the sister saying her brother got killed in 2022. That's red flag number one to me.
Still willing to say he run fake content to clean up his bullshit. He willing to say he will run anything. That's what he's saying. He's saying he thought this was a fake story. He was gonna use it to antagonize Big U. What a joke, nigga. That's the bullshit ass lie. You knew the murder was the case. What? He doing? His lawyer told him clean this shit up. And he got a bunch of dummies over there. They all in on it. What is the priest? He the pastor. And it's the choir behind him. Disgusting. You right, Pastor?
Well, the newspaper said that I read 2021. You don't know. All right, I see. All right, you capping. But I'm gonna keep you going. Then you said they had to go get his blood. My head, nigga,
They got his blood. They got his DNA already. You got to go get a nigga DNA they already got on file, right? Then the mom comes on here. No, the sister says they found his DNA under my brother's fingernails, right? First thing I say is, and they took how many years to come get him? Right? This is what I'm thinking. Because for one, you done told me the wrong year your alleged brother got killed. Two, you telling me they got to go get DNA from a nigga they already got DNA on files. Right? Now you telling me that a murder happened 4 years ago. 4 years ago. And let's just be real. When they come get a body, right? They find the body. They assess the body. They look for clues and things on the body.
How the hell he know?
My nigga, they're not going to wait 4 years to say, oh, let's go test some DNA. At least I don't think they are. I don't know. If I'm tripping, y'all come off the bike.
I don't know. You
and tell
think this rambling? Let me tell you. This nigga here a fake OG. Let me tell you something about when they come get a body. How the fuck you know, nigga? How the hell you know you never had no murder case? You never had no fucking murder? This shit is getting out of hand, but you gonna go to jail. This nigga pretending like been around some murder. Nigga, please.
They're going to run that immediately. There ain't going to be no 4 years and all this. Put it through the system. See if it matches. Geronimo Pratt, that's how he ended up getting out of jail. So in my head, I even called Eddie. Boy, I said, Eddie, hey, bro, Big U, your crime. He said, you know that's my crime. When you paroled, they took your DNA? He like, hell yeah, they took his too. So I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. So now I'm like, okay, I got some trolls on my phone, right? I got some trolls on my phone. So I'm already made my mind up. These is trolling. So when the mama gets on the phone and tells me they had to serve a warrant for the DNA, in my head, I'm like, both of you right here is playing. So you didn't set it up to say they had to get it. The mama talking about they had to serve a warrant to get it. Okay, if they do come get you to get your DNA, how long does it take to test your DNA against that DNA? So ain't none of it still ain't making sense. I'm like, okay. And then when she says, between me and you, Wack 100, don't whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So now,
no, she didn't say whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, a whole ass nigga. She said, between me and you, Wack 100, please don't say nothing to nobody. No, nigga. What you mean whoop-de? What you mean whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop? No. Fill in the blank, nigga. Your ass interfered with a federal investigation. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop ass nigga. She said, between me and you, Wack 100, please don't tell anybody. The police said they picking him up at the end of the month, at the end of March or early April, nigga. She didn't say whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. She told you the specific time the police finna pick that man up, and you blabbed it to the internet, and then you bragged, I'm giving him a chance to run. I looked out for him. Gotcha. You nigga, you interfered with federal investigation. And none of this is gonna work, boy.
I'm like, oh, okay. Here come the troll. Okay, between me and y'all get it. So you really telling me, let this go. So I'm not giving a, because it's like, nigga, you done ran narratives on me talking about I'm a CI and all kind of weird, talking about they this person. And
say you CS2 back, Wack. You know exactly who the fuck they say you is, nigga.
That person. And now that I go back and look at his Checking In podcast, I'm seeing the people on your checking in, so that let me know, okay, you ran a play on me. Nigga, okay, so you know I'll do it. I don't cry about it. Nigga, you run a play on me, what you think Wack gonna do one day? I'm gonna run a play back on you. So I'm gonna be real, bro. Because I'm gonna be, I don't know if that's really Rayshawn Williams' sister and mama. What's the first red flag that this ain't his sister? You done told me the boy got 2022. Anybody in here that done lost a loved one or homie or whatever, nigga, they can tell you the year, the date. You're not going to be a year off the date. You know what I'm saying? You're just not. I don't know if y'all caught everything I caught in the conversation I was having with
who these two people supposed to be. I gotta find the text. So then after the recording, guess what I get from the people? I'm homeless, and you know, if you can loan us something. So now, really, what you think I'm thinking?
Oh, this a play.
It's a play. So I ran up to play. So how many times have you ever heard? I'm gonna show y'all this. Have you heard law enforcement go tell the people when they gonna go serve a warrant?
Never.
Never.
Next to never. For real.
Bro, hold on. Let me read this. Hey, this is Rayshawn Williams' mom. Now this is after they give me the recording, right? That, you know, in my head, this is after they give me the recording that in my head, you know, this Akademiks, we're gonna run it up. This March 8th. Hey, this is Rayshawn Williams' mom. I didn't want to ask you this because I don't like asking people for anything, but I do need your help. Me and my daughter have been homeless for the past 3 months, sleeping in my car. So if it's possible, could you please help me at least get a hotel room for a couple days? I really do need the help. I don't like asking people for anything, and I don't like people in my business. But this is what's been going on with me. So could you please help me out with something? Anything would help. Right? So I'm like, I don't even know you. So then I hit the daughter, right? And I'm gonna show you. Watch this, bro. So this is what's leading me to what it's leading me to. I'm a PTR this one because it's small enough. So after she tell me that, you clearly hear her say her and her daughter sleeping in the car, right? Y'all heard it what she told me. So y'all know what I do. I shoot at the daughter. Look what the daughter. So here we go. So I shoot at the daughter. The mama just told me her and the daughter sleeping in the car. Look what I tell her. My guy said he might be able to allow y'all to stay at one of his Airbnbs. Look what I tell her. For 6 to 12 months. What she tell me? I have a place to stay, right? But you must be talking about my mom or little sister. But I will sure let them know. So when I call her on the phone, I said, yo, your mom sleeping in the car? She get quiet. She said, I ain't got nothing to do with none of that, Mr. Wack. I said, oh, okay. So at that point in time, I done made my decision like, all right, all this cap. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. When them niggas called me at 7:30 in the morning, talking about the feds just made an arrest on Big U, nigga, the last thing I was thinking about was the dude, the kid, right? So I tell 600, this how the video came to be that he went and got. I said, hey, bro, who told you that? He said the homies. I said, 600, they his homies before they yours. I said, you better not jump out there, nigga, and get to saying that. They're going to be laughing at you by 12 noon today. Talking about, look at this stupid, right? Like, he like, I'm going to drive by there. There might be some activity. I said, that'd be your best bet, bro. I wouldn't jump out there. I get that nigga at that call at 7:30 in the morning. If y'all think about it, until 600 came back with the video, I never said nothing. So when he drive over there and say, nah, they over there, I'm still not. In my head, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, you know, I'm not thinking about this Rayshawn, because I'm thinking that's cap anyway. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna be real right now to this day, it's kind of like hard for me to believe that he that used to live with him for a diss song that ain't no diss song. It just don't add up to me, right? It never added up to me. At all. Using that situation, he'd just go get like,
after he locked up,
like his son or somebody. He'd go get somebody just to like line it up with the nigga.
You know what I'm saying? He did it with Nipsey. When Nipsey did a real diss song, what'd he do? He just went and got a nigga to line it up with the nigga. That, you know what I'm saying? Like him going that far about that just, even right now, it just don't add up to me. It just don't make sense. So I ain't gonna front, you know what I mean? So then here come the people. Oh, Wack, you helping the feds. You talking to the feds. How'd you get the information? Nigga, I got the information from whoever these people say is a family member. To me, nigga, they capping because the sister don't even know what year her brother got. You got the mama over here telling me, shh, don't tell nobody between me and you. And immediately after, hit me up for some money. I don't believe nothing he's talking about. Hey, look, no disrespect to the family. If I would have thought it was real, I wouldn't have never played it. But I ain't gonna lie, nigga, on my daughter's soul, I thought you two was trolls when you hit me up for some money after the fact. I'm really thinking it's a play. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea that. I mean, it's still a little puzzling to me, and it's still a little puzzling to me. Like, I don't know if they just kind of like got lucky with saying they was coming to get him this month and was right on, or somebody really told him that, because the experience I got,
they just got lucky.
Law enforcement is not going to tell somebody
a federal investigation
when they're going to do anything. Hold on, let me see if I still got it. People can hear it. Hold on, where'd it go?
And so my mom. Okay, well, let me understand something, right? You been a couple kids. What year
he just recorded some trolls.
My brother was killed in 22.
See, when I'm hearing the hesitation and you give me the wrong year. What the f I'm supposed to think, bro? Yeah,
Come
and
on,
then you hesitate and give me the wrong year. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm gonna show y'all how I just to see where it's gonna go. Watch it.
So it took them 3 years to do DNA? They said that Big U was running for a long time, like he didn't want to take the DNA test.
Now, there's no you're running for a long time if they just go get a warrant, but we go listen to this. Watch it.
But here goes the thing. Big U's DNA is already on file.
I'm shooting at her. The blood already on fire. DNA on fire.
So we need to rule. You get what I'm saying? Like my DNA is on file. Like right now, if I did something and I left some blood or saliva and they run into the system, it's gonna match me. But when I paroled out the penitentiary, they made me swab. But then again,
now I'm telling myself, all right, don't run the off. Let's see what other bull she covered with. Watch how I spit her.
think you had a dope case, huh? He might not have. So he probably wasn't. He had a dope case, it's conspiracy. So they found his DNA test in my brother's nails. Okay, so that's bad work. So that means my brother's fault. Didn't you tell me that your brother's friend said it was something going on, a fight or something? Something was going on here. When I told you that Big U had popped up at my brother's Airbnb. In Vegas. Yes.
So here go my thought. Okay, hold on, because it looked to me like this might be the real person. You got the year wrong. You talking about they got to go get his DNA that I know they got on file. And you telling me it's an eyewitness there and they got all this and they ain't snatched a nigga up on the body. So I'm going to let her keep talking.
And the best friend was there or whatever, but the best friend said that he didn't want to talk to my brother in front of him, so he pulled my brother upstairs to the side. He said that he knew something was going on because when Big U left and my brother came, when Big U left the Airbnb and my brother came back downstairs, he said his whole energy was off.
Now, even that don't add up because from what Prince say, it say the victim left with Big U, right? So maybe it was a thing. She is a sister. She didn't know what she was talking about because she didn't know what she was talking about. I read her like you just a troll on my phone, so we gonna run. Let's keep running.
So what did he have planned to end up leaving my brother the next morning? Y'all remember you told me that. And how long after that did they find your brother? The next day or next couple days? The next day. They found him the next day. Wow. So what the did he have going on with you? What was they doing? Hold on. Let my mom tell you because she know everything. Hold on.
So now I think I got a super duo going on right now. I said, you gonna see where this go. Let's see where it go.
They found that none of them nails you had scratched. Mama? Yeah. Okay. So basically, how you doing? I'm okay. How you doing? Good. I was tripping that it took 3 years. 4 years. 3 years.
Now you see how I'm checking trap, right? I'm checking trap, right? The mama come back and say 4. So I'm like, okay, this should cause some rift between these two. But they pimp right past it. Let's keep it going.
It just made. So what? They was contacting Big U to come give up DNA and he wouldn't do it? Well, what had happened was when they was doing the investigation and they wanted to take down DNA, he wouldn't give them his DNA. So they had to serve him a search warrant to get his DNA.
So now at this point, I'm telling myself, but you need a search warrant to get a nigga DNA that you already got. And let's do the math. So now they saying January, I think Prince saying 2021, right? When it pulled out. Right? The paperwork say they don't get the DNA until June 2023. So we gonna keep it going.
You know what's crazy about that? When we paroled out of CDC penitentiary, they take our DNA from us upon parole. They probably wasn't thinking. Like my DNA, when I paroled in 1999, they swapped my mouth, all that, and they put it in the system. So let's say if I committed a crime and left some DNA, if they swab that DNA and put it in the system, it'll show. But that's California. It might be because the Nevada's not linked. Could be that.
Now, here goes the thing. I'm running it. I know damn well when they take that DNA, they put it in the system. The main purpose is to make sure you ain't wanted in North Dakota, Miami, or Texas, right? But I'm kind of letting them know. I know y'all kind of bullshit, but let me see how much more y'all gonna give me. Sis, she ain't even asked me where I get 3 years from. She just 4 years, right? She gets to the DNA. Okay, I'll play the game with her. We all right. This is where she really lost me right here. This is where she lost me.
Because the Nevada people, is this the feds or Nevada PD on your son's murder? It's both. They transferred the case to the FBI out there in Vegas, and Las Vegas police department is still handling the case as well. So when did the test come back? When did the DNA come back? It came back 2 months ago. And they still ain't arrested the nigga? Well, they told me between me and you, please, between me and you, don't tell nobody because they don't want nobody to know. They're going to be making an arrest the end of March, the beginning of April.
Now, right there, right, I'm telling myself, This is what I'm telling myself.
Salute, family.
If they don't want nobody to know, why they tell you? You somebody. You, right? I'm like,
Right, yeah.
you get what I'm saying? So I'm like, I got this lady giving me the wrong year. You know, I'm running. I'm still running the narrative out. I'm like, they got this nigga blood already. What you mean they got to go get this nigga DNA right now? I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, so I'm telling myself, all right, this they play, because I'm going to come with the, well, you saying they found DNA on his nails. I'm reading an article to say this.
Revolutionary salute to Tarosha Hawkins for the donation to the war chest. Revolution is way of life. Absolutely appreciate the love, Queen. Salute.
Happened 4 years ago. Don't take no 4 years to go get nobody on the body. Now, I don't know if y'all remember when Loose Cannon did his temper tantrums. Y'all don't remember Loose Cannon saying, this is a play. They got the people calling y'all, telling y'all that. So I'm going to keep it 100. We ran the content, and I'm just really giving the family an apology because, respectfully, I thought you all was trolling me. I thought y'all was on some bullshit, especially after I got hit up after the fact for some money, and people probably going to say, Wack them pay some niggas and say, we heard all that. Wack paid some people to say this, that. Nah, we didn't pay them people. Them people hit us voluntarily. And I still don't know why today, why a sister, unless she's not the sister, didn't know her brother's actual death year. You know what I'm saying? Led me to believe that I had some trolls on my phone and everything coming out their mouth is in place, so we roll with it.
All right, y'all, there it is. Now, it's easy to, in hindsight, to understand that some of the things that they were saying and privy to could only come from people that were connected to the victim, like the best friend being there the day before.
Knew that. Wack knew that. Wack didn't give a damn. Wack trying to goddamn keep that federal indictment off his ass for interfering in the federal investigation. He bragged about it. I helped Big U. I tried to give him a chance to flee. He owed me. I even text his wife. Yeah, what about when you thought it was a joke when you text his wife and told her, sis, this Wack. Yeah, and then it's disgusting. He got to that. How the fuck you say you call Big U wife, sis? This nigga disgusting bitch. Fuck you trying to bring her husband down and ruin his life? You trying to ruin their family? This nigga's a narcissistic psychopath. Talking about he text her. Talking about sis. Foe gone bad. That's what he said. The feds gonna get this nigga, bro. This nigga Wack 100 say he text Big U wife, interfering in the federal investigation, talking about foe gone bad. Now, y'all who don't know, like, what the fuck is foe gone bad? Well, Wack said that man, foe rolling 60s had turned against him and was working with the police. If that's a true text, Big U wife need to turn it over to the feds and book Wack 100 ass. So come up with an excuse why you text that man wife foe gone bad, nigga. You absolutely was toying with that man's emotions and act like you trying to help him.
That we want to know why would somebody do that to a person that was leading the whole community? Why? We want to know why.
Me too. But before we get into it, please like the video. And if you're not entertained by the end of it, unlike them up. Now let's get into it. I want to know why are you crying, Cowboy? Because not only a few months after Nipsey died, you shot a music video at the same place he died at. And you was looking happy as ever.
This is the exact spot where Nipsey got shot. Now Cowboy's out here doing a video and scares the heck out of Fat's cousin who's sitting here watching. I guess he's thinking in his mind, like, what the heck? But watch this.
I know how you like it. No one wife it. You could be my side chick, not the one I ride with. It's the one I slide with. When it's time to ride, it's so hard. Nah, Cowboy was wilding right after Nipsey died. And you could tell he was always envious of Nipsey by his actions after Nipsey died. I mean, look at how he was at the strip mall. He's shooting music videos, taking pics with fans, and he's walking around like he owned them up. like he was Nipsey. If you say that's reaching, okay, you know how Nipsey be having the marathon grand openings? How Cowboy start having them too after Nipsey died?
LA prolific, you know, we up in here, you know what I mean? So, we in the States, so I'm going to cut this movement. Let's not go check out the merch. Appreciate y'all support.
The crazy part is he's doing grand openings for a store that's full of bootleg clothing. If that ain't enough, this should seal the deal. Nipsey Hussle get a mural. How the hell Cowboy get one already? The man's still living. But we not done with them whys, Cowboy. We want to know why you and Big U are so quick to defend each other when it comes to your relationship with Nipsey Hussle.
Well, regardless to me or with Big U, when I heard any information concerning me or Big U, it was never a question about Big U. I know Big U loved them. Big U always had money. Big U. So it was never no question. I never questioned. I know that really had love for them.
But both of you guys have been trying to backdoor Nipsey not even months after he passed away. Big U tried to steal the marathon trademark through the Crips LLC owner.
That Big U wanted to do for itself, right? Him and Suge.
Yeah, Big U and Suge wanted it, and he, you know, it was the conversations with Suge. You know, well, you know, make sure the most important thing is that it's trademarked for clothes, and the next thing, it needs to be trademarked. You know, and I mean, these was conversations that he and I were having, and but I know what I'm doing. You know, I'm not going. It's just my integrity. You know, I'm not gonna get down on that boy like that. For him.
Big U tried the same thing with me. Hey, we gonna act like you got control. I sold you. You brought me out of my Nipsey contracts. You go sue the estate. I put them all up 53 days after Nipsey was dead. He wanted me to double back and sue the estate. But yet when he was here, him and Nipsey already had an understanding on what that was and what that wasn't. He didn't want to do it, like she said from the beginning. He's never going to do nothing himself. He always going to try to get somebody else to do it. In the same situation, they wanted her to trademark it, and then they had to put on these shows and did all these things and stood behind it like they didn't know what was going on. But it ain't us, it's her. We doing something with her. Whole time it's them that brought the play. That's how he played.
See, what's crazy is these jealous, envious OGs, allegedly, man, their actions, you can see the pattern. Like Big U or Rayshawn Williams and unaliving them over the diss song, similar to him getting into it with Nipsey. But whatever happened after Nipsey died, Cowboy has been thriving better than ever. Since that play did so good, let's try another one. Well, a few months later, there was somebody else that died in the same area of a young man named Dominique Minion Paul. RIP, and allegedly this video was the night of the stabbing.
It might be like this much, it might be this much in the bottom. It might be a little bottom.
Dominique Minion Paul, a 24-year-old black man, died Thursday, June 20th, after he was fatally stabbed in the 3400 block of West Lawson Avenue in Hyde Park. According to Los Angeles County coroner's records, about 1:15 a.m. on a Sunday, June 16th, officers responded to a call of a loud party in the area, police said. When officers arrived, they were directed to an alley behind a shopping center and found Paul with stab wounds. Paul was taken to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead on June 20th at 11:25 p.m. According to the coroner's records, investigators believe that a group of people were hanging out in the parking lot of the Marathon clothing store when Paul got into a verbal dispute with another person. The two went into the alley and the other person stabbed him. Detectives are seeking witnesses.
Everybody over here ain't got nothing to do with that. You hear me? We can control her. I'm gonna give you your space so we can get my homie up out of here. I respect you as a person, and I'm gonna give you your space, and I respect that. Sis, chill out. Get my homie up out of here. Yeah.
Fair way, please. No need to be like that. Right, I'm talking to you. How may be? But you overly like. We know we gotta do it. But you are a person. I respect that first. Sir, I'm asking you for help. You are a person. I respect that first. So, can you please help my homie? And this is no problem for us. We gotta move. Straight.
Get out the way. Get out the way. You tell everybody to get out the way. Get out the way.
It's straight, bro.
How is this backdoor Nipsey? Well, the family of Dominique Minion Paul sued Nipsey Hussle's company, Slauson and Crenshaw Ventures, LLC. They said, since it's by the Marathon store, you guys are responsible and we want money for it. Well, in court, they argued that Nipsey Hussle's company employed an individual who is Cowboy, who supervises the whole area, including the alley. Mind you, this is after Nipsey Hussle died and the store shut down. Cowboy was not working for the store, but they're trying to put it on him. Nipsey Hussle, Black Salmon Company, argued Cowboy didn't work for no damn Marathon store. It shut down. How could he work for the store? But what did Cowboy do in court? He testified against Nipsey Hussle and Black Sam. He said Black Sam was his boss and was paying him. This whole time, Cowboy has been working with the family to sue Nipsey Hussle's company, allegedly. Well, you might be asking, now we want to know why, Cowboy. Why did you testify against Nipsey Hussle and his family? And not only did you testify, you lied. You know damn well you didn't work for Black Sam months after Nipsey died. Family wasn't messing with you. And the store was closed. If you can answer that why, we off Cowboy forever. And we front row at every Cowboy concert.
Ring, ring, styrofoam cup. Catch me in the hood with the tiny nose pouring up. And everybody know I be going up. In every hood function I be showing up. I'm a hood, watch me throw it up. When I'm on the dance floor, I do my stuff.
Disgusting.
What? Purple in the cup got me turned right up. Now I'm at the bar and I'm breaking down bars. Mixing up drinks and baby.
Man, like, comment, subscribe. And I'm not done with the content. You get me to another 500 likes on this video here, I'm gonna drop Big U taking the Big U Rico on the US tour.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Shots fired, a fight taken to the streets, and this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Beverly Grove. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. This man, a passenger in that car.
I think one of the reasons why people be like tripping hella much and asking hella questions is why, in your opinion, did Kwando drop his flag after that happened? Like, why was that the culmination? Because I feel like a lot of people make it seem like this is what makes people think, oh, for sure they checking in with 6-0s, and beyond the fact that he's remote. Why afterwards? Because I'll tell you this, from my perspective, and this is being honest, I know the weed rumor was spread.
Maybe he asked us to help him step, and these shoes don't work. You ain't been over here kicking it with us, the stepping for, nigga. Fly some niggas out here and step, nigga. Maybe he.
Okay, you here? You go check in when you go to Russia, you a dealer, anywhere you go. But like you're right. Hip hop has lost it. The game has lost it. Because you might check in with me. I'm gonna tell you what clubs to go to and what clubs not to go to.
We are back, YouTube. Indeed, we are back. Now, with everything going on with Big U, loose cannon. Brick baby.
Not the
Operation
Boston
Drawls
Celtics.
Down, so they say.
You better believe that.
With everything going on with that, fans are starting to point out that, hey man, Big U been moving snaky for a while. Now, as y'all already know, Big U had his own show on World Star Hip Hop called Checking In. Checking In. Do y'all remember?
No, I told you
pandemonium
of this. They using that check-in podcast that's in the new federal indictments. They using all of that. That Snoop Dogg hook. They using all of this check-in talk as part of his extortion. Because that check-in wasn't just a song. It wasn't just a podcast. No, they said that was his way of life, and he bragged about it online like a big dummy.
Uproar that went about that word checking in a few years ago. Tekashi 6ix9ine was supposed to check in. He never checked in, and look what it turned into. So we're going to get off into Big U sitting down with Kwando Rondo. As y'all already know, Kwando Rondo was from the neighborhood Rolling 60s Crips, the Savannah, Georgia division. And y'all know that Big U is the leader of all the Rolling 60s.
To the dirt.
So with no further ado, we're not going to hold y'all too long here. I know a lot of people want to go get their day. We finna jump right off into this content. And I'm talking about right off into it.
This video put his life in danger and got his cousin killed because once Lil Durk and them OTL niggas seen that, oh, you'll go sit next to Big U and this who you think you got to go out there and see, okay, well, cool. We know just who to get with when the time comes. And that's just how it played out. That's why he immediately said
Oh, hold on. Big U came on, rolling. Neighbor chunking it up. He came on, throwing it up. Hold on. We're going to rewind that. Hold on. Absolutely. We got to rewind that.
When you hop off the plane, check in. Penthouse suite, check in. When your feet hit the street, check in. Cause if not, shit get hot, you better check it in.
World Star Hip Hop checking in with my young fella Kwando.
Check in.
Yeah, my nigga, man. What's up?
Did you extort Snoop Dogg for that intro? I know that Snoop Dogg intro should have cost somebody $250,000.
Fella, coolin'. How's it going, man? Coolin'. Is you in California, huh?
You did.
You see? You know what I'm saying?
The land.
Man, I'm glad to have you, man. You know what I'm saying? Where was like your first break?
On 6, so I thought this shit was on silent.
See, that's how I go, man. Put him on camera.
Oh, he want to cut up. He couldn't wait to put something on 6-0 in front of Big U. On 6-0, Nightbug. On 6-0. On 6-0 Raw. He couldn't wait to do that on the Dead Homies. I couldn't wait to do that, cuz.
This joint ain't what I thought it was.
What you thought it was?
Nigga got kids and joint like that. Well, I have a kid. You feel me? Like, boy, it's way more than this job than a petty argument or something that got worded wrong. It's way bigger than that.
Let me just tell you this. It's always gonna be good and bad in this business. You know what I mean? But dealing with that, you just gonna have to be able to be a bigger man and a smaller man. Like even going back to myself, I just did an interview last night with No Jumper, and he asked me about
cold plug for No Jumper.
You, and what I told him as a man, my little homie called me and he told me, "Unc, you was wrong," but I'm gonna say I was wrong too because you said I was wrong. You know what I mean? And as a man, like I told them, I know when I'm gonna apologize because I'm supposed to be a bigger person. You know what I mean? Because if you my young nigga,
he didn't mean none of
you can make mistakes I can't make.
Sure.
You feel what I'm saying?
Huh.
And
he never been none of this, and he was rocking this nigga to sleep the whole motherfucking time, nigga. Well, then went on Breakfast Club and said to him, don't be calling him when you already got into all that nonsense. This was just to rock this man to sleep. So when the time comes, we way more easier than to get paid to knock him off.
And like say, you know, I can look at the camera and tell it, you know what I mean? Like as a grown man and a nigga who really speaks for a crew of people, I gotta be better. The young nigga can make the mistakes. Old nigga supposed to, you know what I mean, handling it a whole different light.
Basically, what Big U is saying is, I'm too old to go hit that mission. I'm gonna send you on the mission. You young. You get to make the mistake. Kwando Rondo. You get to make the mistake. So I'm gonna need you to do something for me, you heard me? I'm too old to do it. You gonna do it.
You know what I mean? Just say like a young person could get on Instagram and say this and that about me. I'm a young person too. Boom bam, and I feel like, wait a minute, he said that wrong. I could get back on the ground and then say, bro, oh, you said that wrong, such and such, such and such. He might take that as like, oh, fuck that nigga, it's smoke now. Right. But with you being older, so you feel me, you did some big homie job and came back, you feel me, and did what's real, you feel me? A young nigga wouldn't have did that, because young niggas be so caught up in the wave, the pride, social media. When that stuff not even gonna be for that ain't gonna, that like MySpace, when we was little, MySpace was out. Right now, you don't hear nobody talking about MySpace. Right. So eventually in 15 to 20 years, none of this stuff not even gonna matter no more. People be living for the internet time. And that job leave, the internet like cause people to do life and be dead right now, you feel me? And I turned 22 the other day, like I'm getting old. I still do a lot of dumb stuff and stuff like that, but that's what come with life, period. But just saying like, man, I ain't trying to be like, nigga ain't trying to live for none of this no more.
I mean, well, I understand what you're saying, because I mean, I've been through.
See, that's how you know Big U is a liar.
Yeah,
and I hate to pop y'all bubble out there. I know there's a lot of Big U lovers. Because you don't understand what Kwando Rondo was saying. None of us understands what Kwando Rondo was saying. He don't even understand what he be saying sometimes. Lil' bro just sat up there and babbled for 2.5 minutes straight, and you talking about you understand. Cap.
Bullshit myself. Still was going through it. Just put the documentary out, explain a lot of things. So I actually know what you're going through. Without us even verbalizing, I can actually feel your situation. But I can tell you this much though. What you gotta just be conscious is in what you put out. Like for the next year or two, because they're gonna play everything, every word you say is gonna be a shot to the other side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? No matter what, even if you're talking about the birds on Arlington, they're gonna find a way to say that, you know, you talk, but you just gotta be conscious.
See, and I really just figured that out too, because it's like, but me, violence happen everywhere. Everybody got some violence going on in their life, whether it's with them, whether they son doing it, whether they little nephew doing it. Somebody knows something about some violence, you feel me? And violence is gonna happen multiple times. So it might be boom bam. Store got broke in today on Crenshaw, such just did it. You feel me? All right, everybody know he just did that, but 2 months not passing. He broke in a whole nother house, and then he got on the internet and said, yeah, I broke in this house. People gonna think he talking about the house he broke in on Crenshaw, but in his mind, he talking about the second house he broke in.
Right.
You feel me? So I really let a lot of stuff go, but I'm really just like I be saying like a lot of stuff I say like in songs and stuff like this ain't the only person I have a problem with. Like I ain't talking to this person. Like it'd be a lot of stuff happening. Like, and I tell like the hustlers and y'all like I wasn't even talking about. You feel me? Look what they. So I really just think.
Man, Kwando Rondo and Kodak Black make amazing music, but they have a very hard time expressing themselves normally in a regular conversation.
Now, anything a nigga say, they gonna put it that way. You feel me?
And I mean, that's just growing up too, though. Just to even hear you say that at 22 is what young people need to hear. You know what I mean? They need to understand that shit gonna happen. You know what I mean? And everything a nigga ain't talking about is not talking about one incident. You know what I mean? But that's what you're going to have to deal with. Like you, the crew, and then when they get to fuck with a nigga money, though, it's a different story. You know what I mean? Like now you can't do things.
Yeah, it's a different story then. You get to play with the money. I get to put these karate skills on you. Why? I know Big U know karate.
Do things and get bread, and you know, it's really about feeding your family. And I've been in this industry for 30 years almost, 30 plus years. You want 30 years. And like you said, it's gonna pass. But you just gotta be smart and strategic in the way you move, the people you do songs with. Now you gotta be careful even on how you move. It ain't even about being no buster or none of that. You just gotta be smart because of where you are. Because even the white folks won't want to touch you if they feel there's gonna be some threat behind it. You know what I mean?
And look, that like my biggest thing in this right now, like fans, just fans, period. The people who looking up to the entertainment world, to the hip hop world, to my situation or whatever, they looking at it like, man, he's scary. He ain't doing shows. But I feel like the people that I got a problem with, they happy is like that. But at the same time, they looking at it how you looking at it, how we looking at it. They stopping money. They trying to stop my money. You feel me? Fans thinking I'm high when they.
Okay, so this is after the King Von situation. This is the link up after the King Von situation, man. You all see what I'm saying? And as y'all already know, Kwando Rondo is from Roller 60's crib. So linking with Big U is like a Muslim, a person part of the NOI linking with the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. It never had to happen.
No, like I'm dying to do shows and stuff. You think that the rap game is like the dope game, man. If you sell bricks and you gotta go pull up on cuz and sell him a brick, you feel me? It's a chance he could try to rob you. He could kill you trying to get that brick from you. You going to get your money though, no matter how it come. This what you signed up for. This what you into. So you going to get your money. That's a show. Why wouldn't I go to my show? Why wouldn't I go get my money? You feel me?
Now I feel what you're saying too, but also at the same time, you're a leader now. Because you got a crew you leading, and you got a crew you speaking for. So at times you got to make sure you don't take your crew in environments that's going to be bad for them. Because you don't never want this. You don't never want to take your crew to a state and leave one of them in that state. You know what I'm saying? So all money ain't good money. So think of it like that.
That was basically a shot at that boy King Von. He said, you don't ever want to take your crew to another state and leave them in that state. That's kind of what happened with King Von, man. He was basically letting them know, like, hey, you moving right, little homie. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got the upper hand already. But little did he know, later on down the line, Lil Pab, Brick Baby, Lil Durk, and this is why Kwando Rondo would say, man, I'm dropping my flag, bro.
See, I go to, I check in with somebody, bro. And that's what it's about. Because people think that I'm a bully and I cancel money, I get money from niggas. I ain't never asked you for not one dime. Not one dime. Now, where our problem came in, and this is what he can vouch for, the same Instagram I was hitting them up on, because I was putting a tour together. I was putting a 6x10 tour together. And I had Baby, Gunna, I wanted Baby, Gunna, you, and all y'all. I was hitting you up on that same Instagram. Then he turned around and hit me on the same Instagram. That's what upset at me. And I'm like, little nigga, I've been hitting you up on the same line. Now you hit me. And that's where our problem, that's where I was like, and I'm like, wait a minute, man. So that's where it was. But like I said, I'm still supposed to be a bigger nigga though.
No, I'm glad you said something about that.
So Big U was trying to put the California squeeze on Kwando Rondo, Lil Baby, Four Deuce Doug, and anybody who claimed Roller 60 script. He was trying to put the California squeeze on them. Basically, he wanted to put a tour together and have them dudes perform for free. Now, Kwando Rondo was ignoring him. As soon as Kwando Rondo got in some of that hot-ish, he called Big U. So I feel Big U at this point. Hey, don't call me, bro, because I was just trying to get you to do something for the Nightbud. Nightbud.
This is something that everybody need to hear. All right, like you just said, you check in with somebody everywhere you go. Right. Look, not you, but the young niggas. Young niggas got the word check in so messed up right now. Right. Like when a nigga say check in, the nigga automatic, not you on the young people got that word just messed up right
That's
now.
what y'all crazy is.
When somebody here check in, they automatically think like
you check like you paying a nigga a check.
You feel me? Or like, oh, he's saying I gotta pull up here. But that's why I'm glad you.
Now, one thing
That
about
is what
it
he
is
said.
this, though. If you from out of town rolling 60s crib, you should be tapped in with your homies in LA anyway. So when they say check in, they basically saying, man, go touch your turf. If you say you from Five Deuce Hoover in Texas and you in LA doing a media run or whatever the case may be, you need to go tap in, bro. How that don't even make sense. Why wouldn't you want to go do that though? Now, in the case of Big U and Kwando Rondo and all the out of town rolling 60s cribs, I can see why y'all ain't want to tap in, check in, touch bases, talk to, or anything with Big U, because he was gonna put that squeeze on you boys.
That because I never really had a problem with like checking that. Like when, like one time I've been in my hometown when the rapper came down there, I'm like, damn, I've been down here, he ain't even came and mess with me, you feel me? That's where I'm from. I just wanted to show him certain stuff. Yeah. You feel me? So just for me living through that experience, I know checking and it ain't nothing wrong with that. Man. Checking in it is the new word for a relationship.
That's what it is.
You feel me?
I mean, they do it all over the world. You can't go nowhere in the world you don't check in. You gonna check in if you come in American airspace. They gonna want to know, like, what, okay, you here? You gonna check in when you go to Russia, you a delegate, you go, anywhere you go. But like you're right, hip hop has lost it. The game has lost it because you might check in with me. I'm gonna tell you what clubs to go to and what clubs not to go to. I'm gonna tell you where the bad bitches is, and I'm gonna tell you where the weed is. I'm gonna tell you who got the good weed, how to get the sack. You got dudes come out all the time.
I thought you said you was a professional, man. How you gonna tell me all of that? You man, where the 30s at? Where the switches at? Where them cannons at? The thing about the check-in thing is this. See, what he's saying is true. Everything he's saying is true. But if you checking in with people who mean you harm, they come in disguised as your homeboy. A sheep in wolf's clothing. Or wolf in sheep's clothing, rather, sorry. Disguised as the homie, though. That's how they coming to you, disguised. Why you want to check in with somebody that mean you some harm? It don't make no sense at all. Like, hold on, bro. I'm not about to come tap in, check in with nobody that mean me no harm. And it seemed like Kwando Rondo wasn't around the right rolling 60s Crips to check in with.
I sack and getting robbed. They ain't dealing with the right people. If I go to Chicago, if any of my artists is going different places, I tell them call this dude. Because he treated me right, he gonna treat y'all right. That's really what it is.
Like, hopefully this interview open everybody's eyes on the check-in part. Like that's a nigga not on nothing negative.
Because I heard the last song you dropped, and I was in awe of it because I felt you. That you did. I took it a different way. Not everybody else took it. That you had a story to tell. Your side had never been out. And what's important is, and I don't want you to speak on it. I just want you to speak on the fact that you felt like you had to get home too. And that's it.
Come on, man. At the end of the day, X out lights, camera, and fame. Everybody in here wanna go home to their child. I got a child, man.
Yeah, that's it. I don't want you to go do too much elaborating because you just want to get home. You know what I mean?
Who want?
Simple. Okay, so fans pointed this out, said, man, Cliff, go ahead and react to this. So I go ahead and got me a little reaction to it. It's crazy how things turned out because later, like I said, Lil Pop would end up being tragically unalived in Los Angeles, California. And it would be said that Brick Baby gave the drop. Now, that's just hood lore. That's not, allegedly, allegations, salacious allegations. But they are allegations that Brick Baby himself played into. He played into this. It was these events that led Kwando Rondo to drop his flag. On one side of it, you got the big homie talking to you. He sounded like he dropping some knowledge, but he ain't gave you a drip drop of game. And on the other end of it, you got Brick Baby saying, man, you tapping in with Hollywood. Come tap in with the real hood. Come tap in with the real hood. Come tap in with the real hood. Lil Pop gets killed, and ain't nobody from the neighborhood 60s slide for Kwando Rondo. Ain't nobody from the roller 60s in Los Angeles, California slide for Kwando Rondo. Maybe I need to shut that window. Ain't nobody slide, man. Y'all jump in the comment section. Let me know how y'all feel about this right here. This is Brazy. I bet. Hey, looking back on it, to name your show, your podcast, checking in. Look, I ain't lying to y'all. I'm about to show y'all the name. I ain't lying. Looking
Make
back
it home, and everybody scream.
To name the show, checking in with 2 C's. Man, it's clear that you wasn't never trying to separate the business from the gang, from the neighbor. Hey, man, and then you ended up in a kerfuffle, bro. Y'all jump in the comment section. Let me know how y'all feel, man.
Go figure. Follow me.